How private is your life? Do you have a right to expect your most personal information belongs only to you? We're talking about privacy, both online privacy and the potential use of technology to track your everyday life. From targeted ads to facial recognition, from school data leaks to intimate details weaponized online.
In the 20th century, the world ran on oil. In the 21st, it runs on something far more invisible: data. The difference? You can see oil, you can measure it, refine it, burn it. Data, you give away without even knowing. And once you do, you never get it back. This is the story of how privacy, once a right, became a product. How every photo, click, and heartbeat turned into the most profitable resource in human history. And how the illusion of free turned all of us into the most valuable asset on Earth. It started innocently enough. When the internet was young, it felt like a miracle. Infinite information, instant connection, boundless freedom. You could message a friend across the world, watch cat videos, and read the news, all for free. The problem is, nothing is ever really free. To keep the web running, companies needed revenue, and so they built the most efficient business model in history: advertising. But this wasn't advertising like TV commercials or magazine spreads. It was smarter, faster, personal. At first, it was simple: show ads to people likely to buy. Then the algorithms evolved. They didn't just predict what you wanted, they shaped it. In 2004, Facebook launched with a promise: connect the world. By 2010, it connected something else: your identity to your behavior. Likes, comments, photos, birthdays, breakups, everything became data. And that data became currency. A 2013 study by The Economist estimated that the global data market was worth around $300 billion. By 2025, analysts project it will surpass $1.5 trillion. And you didn't earn a cent of it. Because every click you make, every search you type, every scroll you take is part of a $1 trillion extraction economy. One that doesn't mine coal or oil, but human experience itself. If you want to see how it happened, look at your phone. When you downloaded an app, it asked for permission: your location, your contacts, your microphone. You clicked allow, because everyone does. You weren't giving access, you were giving ownership. Behind every tap was a silent transaction: free email, free maps, free storage, in exchange for your digital shadow. They built entire empires on it. Google became one of the richest companies in history by selling precision, not products. They could tell advertisers where you were, what you wanted, and when you were most likely to act. Facebook sold influence, the ability to change opinions, shape elections, and rewrite reality with algorithms. You became predictable. And predictability is profit. In 2018, the Cambridge Analytica scandal pulled back the curtain. A political consulting firm had harvested data from tens of millions of Facebook users, allegedly without explicit consent, and used it to influence elections. The idea that democracy itself could be hacked through personality profiles wasn't science fiction anymore. It was business. That same year, Apple launched its now famous billboard: what happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone. It was clever marketing, and a quiet acknowledgement that privacy had become a luxury product. For everyone else, it was already too late. Because privacy isn't something you lose all at once. It's something you trade away, pixel by pixel. Every loyalty card, every TikTok scroll, every accept cookies button. Companies don't need to spy. You willingly tell them everything. What you eat, what you love, what you fear, when you sleep, when you cry. And with AI, they don't just collect it, they understand it. A few years ago, algorithms could predict what you might buy. Now, they can predict who you are. Your typing rhythm reveals mood. Your camera detects micro-expressions linked to emotion. Your voice patterns suggest stress, age, and health. Your search history can predict a breakup before you announce it. it sounds impossible, until you realize it's not magic. It's math. You are an equation. Habits in, profit out. In 2023, researchers at MIT demonstrated that a model trained on social media posts could detect early signs of depression with over 80% accuracy. In 2024, a Stanford study found AI could identify your political leanings from just 20 likes with near-perfect precision. That's not surveillance, that's simulation. And it's not just happening online. Smart cities now track foot traffic, vehicle movement, and Wi-Fi signals to analyze population behavior. Insurance companies offer discounts if you install monitoring apps. Employers use productivity trackers to measure keystrokes and activity time. Retail stores map your eyes to learn what products catch your attention. This is the new economy. Not built on money, built on moments. The average person's digital footprint generates about 1.7 megabytes of data every second. Multiply that by 8 billion people, and you get the largest invisible economy in human history, one that grows every time you breathe near a sensor. And while most people think this is just about ads, it's much bigger. Because data isn't just used to sell, it's used to control. In China, the government's social credit system combines financial history, online activity, and even social behavior to score citizens. High score, faster loans, better travel privileges. Low score, restricted access to flights or jobs. The West mocked it, but then quietly built its own version. Credit scores, targeted policing, algorithmic risk assessment, different name, same logic. In the US, police departments have tested predictive policing tools that forecast where crimes might occur based on historical data. In theory, it's efficiency. In practice, it can replicate bias, punishing communities already over-surveilled. AI doesn't know justice. It only knows patterns. And when patterns are built on prejudice, automation becomes oppression. The scary part? You can't opt out anymore. In 2025, almost every major tech platform uses shadow profiles, data collections of non-users created by scanning contacts, cookies, and device signals. Even if you delete your account, your digital ghost remains. It's not just what you share, it's what others share about you. Every group chat, every photo tag, every cloud backup is a thread in a digital tapestry you can't unweave. Privacy used to mean solitude. Now it means consent. And soon, even that might vanish. The moment AI entered the equation, privacy died quietly. Because data is no longer just information, it's fuel. Every large language model, every recommendation system, every predictive tool runs on it. And to train those models, companies need billions of human examples. Where do they get them? Your posts, your faces, your voices. Scraped, labeled, and repurposed in the name of innovation. In 2024, a class action lawsuit alleged that AI firms had trained their models on copyrighted material and private conversations without permission. The companies responded that all data used was publicly available. But here's the paradox. The internet is public, but the people on it are not. The boundary between those two is gone. This isn't just about privacy anymore, it's about power. In 1984, George Orwell imagined a future where Big Brother watched everyone. He was wrong about one thing. We built the cameras ourselves, we carry them, we feed them, we pay monthly for the privilege. Because surveillance didn't need to be forced. It was gamified, turned into filters, stories, check-ins, and likes. You don't need a dictator when people willingly surrender their data for dopamine. Somewhere along the line, surveillance became culture. People live-stream their homes, post their locations, and confess their thoughts to algorithms. Children grow up believing privacy is suspicious, that sharing is safety. We've normalized exposure. We call it connection. But when everyone's being watched, who's really free? The tragedy is that privacy didn't die in one dramatic moment. It eroded quietly, in the fine print, in the settings menu, in the accept all button. We didn't lose it, we traded it for convenience. Instant maps, faster shipping, smarter feeds. The trade seemed harmless until we realized what we were giving up. Because convenience is a currency, and the price is your autonomy. When everything you do is recorded, you start to live differently. You hesitate before typing. You censor thoughts before posting. You perform instead of exist. Psychologists call it surveillance fatigue, the quiet anxiety of knowing you're always observed. And it's changing how we think, how we vote, how we love. When your value is measured in engagement, authenticity becomes performance. We've turned ourselves into brands, optimizing emotions for algorithms. That's not freedom, that's digital captivity with better lighting. But not all hope is lost, because awareness is the first defense. A growing number of people are fighting back. Technologists, activists, developers, and everyday users reclaiming the web one tool at a time. Open source operating systems like Graphene OS and Calyx OS protect against tracking. Encrypted apps like Signal, ProtonMail, and Brave are building ecosystems where privacy isn't a luxury, it's default. Decentralized protocols aim to make ownership transparent again. It's not about deleting technology, it's about designing it differently. Because the issue was never the data itself, it was who controlled it. For decades, corporations said, "Trust us." Governments said, "It's for your safety." Users said, "I have nothing to hide." But privacy isn't about hiding. It's about dignity. It's about choice. It's about control over who sees the fragments of your life. Without privacy, there is no freedom. Because freedom without boundaries is just exposure. We now live in a world where data is money. And just like money, it creates inequality. Those who own it, big tech, governments, data brokers, gain power. Those who generate it, us, lose it. It's digital feudalism. The few own the information, the rest provide it. The future isn't about who has the most data, it's about who controls what that data can do. And that's the next war, not fought with weapons, but with algorithms. So where does this leave us? Maybe the death of privacy isn't a tragedy. Maybe it's a warning that somewhere along the way, we confused connection with consent. That the same tools that connected us also consumed us. But it's not too late, because technology is still a mirror. It reflects what we build into it. We can choose systems that serve people, not profiles. We can demand transparency, ownership, and consent. We can rebuild the web not as a marketplace of attention, but as a commons of trust. Because data doesn't have to enslave. It can empower, if we choose who it belongs to. Privacy didn't die, we killed it, slowly, willingly, conveniently. But resurrection is possible, not through laws or lawsuits, but through design, awareness, and refusal. Every time you deny a tracker, disable a microphone, or say no to personalized ads, you're voting for a different future, one where human experience isn't just another asset class. Because someday, people will look back at this era, at the billions of cameras, the endless consent screens, the algorithmic feeds, and wonder how we ever called it normal. The truth is simple. We didn't lose privacy overnight, we just stopped noticing it was gone. And maybe the scariest part isn't that they know everything about us, it's that we stopped asking why they need to.